Hey, good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday here in the late summer of August 2026. And today we're going to be starting a preliminary check on these KEF 104/2s. Beautiful pair here. And yeah, we're going to be doing a full restoration, replacing the base reflex donuts, replacing the tweeter ferrofluid. We're going to go with the original tweeters rather than replacing with Morels. And we're going to be replacing all the caps on the crossovers. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Today we're just going to be recording capacitor values. And as you can see here, we have a little bit of foam rot on the donuts, more than a little bit there. And today we're going to be removing those. Alright, here we have the bottom woofer cabinet. And we're going to be removing the 3 bolts and 10mm bolt that hold in the base reflex rod. Alright, now we have the first woofer out of the bottom of speaker B. You can see that there's noticeable foam rot. I'm not going to be touching that because I don't want to get it down inside the crevice. But yeah, this is pretty much par for the course. Alright, now we have our speaker on the back. 4 bolts have been removed, and time to take off the upper mid and lower mid cabinet. All right, good morning. This is day 2 of the KEF 104/2 rebuild. We have our kit from Simply Speakers that's arrived. And we're going to start by removing the old degraded foam from the 2 woofers on the B section, or the B speaker. All right, might look a little bit dusty, but we're going to address that. We've removed as much of the old glue as possible, even though it looks a little bit messy. Time to test fit one of the donuts here. Let's just see how it's going to sit on the edge of the rim there. Nice. So let's start with the gluing process. Alright, so we got the first 2 woofers done. We're on to the tweeter in the mid-range section. It's around 11 a.m. And we're going to be disassembling the midway of the mid cabinet right now. Good stuff. Alright, we have our KEF tweeter out, and we're going to start by marking with a Sharpie the locations just to make sure that everything goes back exactly the way that it came out. We have our X-Acto knife here to cut around the edge extremely carefully. And if you look close, we've marked the magnet for the blue and brown leads. There are alignment pins as well to help you. Alright, so right now we are working on pulling up the old ferrofluid using some fibrous film paper with a light bit of alcohol, and it's starting to really loosen up. So we've just applied the ferrofluid. In this case, it kind of flew out a little bit, but we are in good shape. All right, we have our finished tweeter. Just have to make sure that you've aligned everything with your alignment marks. I think we're in quite good shape here. All right, and now we are on to the crossover portion. We're going to be replacing these 38-year-old electrolytic capacitors with fresh ones from Falcon Acoustics in Oxford, UK. These are the proper AlCap 100 volt, 100 UF caps, 16 UF, etc. All AlCap, so pretty cool stuff. And now we're going to be moving forward. Just wish I had a board vise. Alright, we're about halfway done with the recap on the first crossover of the Falcon Acoustics all caps going in. And yeah, here's a 240 microfarad unicorn. Cool stuff. Alright, this crossover is now complete. Now it's time to put speaker B back together and complete speaker A. Alright, so we have the woofer installed. And now it's time to install the face panel. Alright, now we're about to install the bottom woofer. As you can see, we've got the fresh crossover in there, the top woofer installed. So let's go from here.